This is not where we normally operate. We're visiting Suffolk, Virginia, and we're just doing a little extra side shoot here and thought we'd give you some content while we're down here. The first fundamental of shooting is your grip and establishing the grip. Whether it's a grip in a pistol, whether it's grip in a rifle with a pistol grip on it, you're going to grip that pistol a certain way, and we're going to talk about what that grip looks like. So as you're thinking about the pistol, and by the way, this is a clear and safe gun, right? So if I point it at you, it isn't going to hurt you. I promise. It's clear and safe. I've already checked it. I even had Danny check it, so we're good.
Good to go.
All right. So what we're looking at first on the grip, what you've got going on inside of here is an explosion that takes place inside of the gun, right? That's obvious. And what we know about an explosion is if you put pressure on one side of an explosion, it's going to want to find the weak spot, right? So if we had a corner of a floor and a wall, and we put an explosive charge here, the charge is going to find the weak spot, which is going to be 45 degrees out from that spot right there. So it finds the weak spot. Does the same thing with a pistol. And so what we're trying to do is cover this gun with hand, get as much hand around the gun as we can. We want to, if we could hold the gun like this and get behind the slide so we can control this mass of where this thing's exploding, that would be awesome. But you can't because the slide's got to reciprocate. So the first part of building our grip is going to be to take the firing hand, whether you're a right-handed guy or left-handed guy, it doesn't matter. You're going to take that firing hand and we're going to take the bird finger, and that's going to make contact with the underside of the trigger guard, right? And then these fingers are going to wrap around the front side of the gun. Then this thumb, we're going to raise this thumb up out of the way. We don't need it right now. We're making space for the support hand to come in. And now you're holding the gun just like that. Contact under the trigger guard, hands along the front side of the grip, thumb up and out of the way. Then we take our support hand, and I want you to think about this part of the hand right here is your drumstick, right? This is the part of the chicken drumstick you'd eat. This is where you'd hold on to the bone. We're going to take that drumstick, and we're going to put that drumstick in this space right here, right? So we're going to take that in, and as we do, a lot of people will tell you to drive the index finger underneath and catch the underside of the trigger guard. But I want you to really think about taking that index finger and coming in on your bird finger, because you can feel that. You know you've made contact with that. All right? So we're going to drive that up underneath and come to the bird finger, making contact with the trigger guard there. And then from there, we're going to take it and we're going to start screwing this thing in and up. So it's going to come in and up, and I'm rotating the hand forward. You'll notice that I've got a pretty high grip on this thing. Yes, my thumbs are touching the slide, but I'm not putting pressure on the slide. I'm not pushing the slide this way. I'm not using this thumb on the slide. Nothing is pushing against that slide. And that slide is not going to be impeded by my hands being up here like this. What I'm trying to do is get as high up on the gun as I possibly can, because I'm trying to get as high up against the bore axis as I can to control that recoil, because what I want that gun to do is come straight back to me, not do a whole bunch of flipping like this. The lower I get on the gun, the more flip I get. The higher I get up on the gun, the more control I've got, and it's coming straight back to me, and that's what I want, because then it's flat, and every shot after the first shot is going to be where the first one went. Now, a couple of points of performance that you can check for yourself on this. As you're looking at this thing, if you'll notice the top of my index finger and my thumb, they are at least even with one another across the top of the slide this way. And it can even, your thumb can even be further forward, but it cannot be back here. You don't want this thumb to be behind this. You want it to be at least even, and if not more so in front. And here's the reason why. So as we look at it, when my thumb is pushed forward like this, it causes my wrist to be bent. It's as if I'm pointing my thumb at what I'm trying to shoot, right? And that's the same grip you would have on your rifle. If you're putting a C-clamp on your rifle, this hand is going to be out here guiding the front of the rifle, and all we've done is now we've placed the pistol in that same configuration. So you can imagine I've got a carbine now, and this is the same configuration I got for my rifle. My pistol hand goes right up here like this. So that's one point of performance, is checking this. The second one is to take your fingers and extend your fingers. The fingers of this hand should be roughly 45 degrees in relationship to the muzzle itself, right? So 45 going this way. Now, if I've got this right, this will be right. But look what happens when I pull this thumb back and it's not right. These fingers now are almost parallel, right? Which means I don't have tension here in the wrist. So I roll that forward, push the thumbs forward. That creates a tension in my wrist. I'm not locking out my elbow. I want to be able to move this gun in and out based on whatever the environment is. I might be shooting at a confined space. I need these elbows to be able to move and shoulders to move. But the wrist, I want those things locked back. If you have limp wrist when you shoot, you'll have counteracted the recoil spring, and then that'll cause a malfunction in the gun. So that's what we're looking for there. And now, kind of a last point on the grip is down here in the back. You'll look over the shoulder. There's this area where you can see part of the grip. I don't want to be able to see that. I want to suck all my hands into that and cover that up. If you find after you've shot a little bit that your grip starts to come loose here and you start to see space, you need to check that and get back up inside there. You don't want any space. You want to be able to suck into that gun and get meat all the way around that pistol. All right, so we'll demo this. I just want to show you what I'm talking about with the explosion and what happens with it. So eyes and ears, and I don't want you to focus on what we're shooting because I'm not going to aim at anything. I'm just going to show you what happens when you're holding the gun and working the recoil side. So eyes and ears. Put the magazine in, and we're going to charge the gun. When you're charging your pistol, this is just kind of something to think about. Some guys will grab way up here in the front and they'll manipulate their pistol from up here. Think twice about doing that. That's the business end of the gun. If something happens, you blow your fingers off. Work it from the back. Work it, if you have to work it like this, but try to keep your hands away from the business end of the pistol. All right, that was a public service announcement. Now, let's get to the grip. I don't want you to focus on this because I'm just going to push into the woods with the round. But I want you to watch the recoil of this pistol. If I fire the pistol and I have no pressure on this side, I want you to think for a second. Answer this question. Which direction is the gun going to go? Is it going to go this way or is it going to go this way? All right, I'll give you a second to think about it. All right, let's watch and see where it goes. All right, I over-exaggerate it and let the gun travel just so you could see, but it's going to run off this direction. I put the pistol in the other hand, same thing, fire it, there's no resistance on this side. Come off to that direction. Then we put both hands on it and we give a nice grip like we talked about before, and it should just come straight back to us. Once you put that grip on there like that, that's controlling the recoil of the pistol. It comes straight back to you, and that's the objective. That's what we're trying to get done. So that's the grip, and now we'll move on to stance.